In this video, we're going to take a look at how Veeam Backup and Replication can assist in protecting as well as recovering Oracle workloads. We will be focused on the virtual machine jobs in this video, but bear in mind that if you have physical machines running Oracle, we do offer Veeam agents for both Windows and Linux that offer those same capabilities. So using our console as an example, you'll notice we have a handful of Oracle backup jobs, and using one as a real quick look at how to properly set up these jobs, we'll just go in and edit this one. So of course we give it a name, we give it the virtual machines that we want to protect within this job, and also we can throw multiple types of VMs. If we have maybe some static VMs that we still need protected, or even other applications like Exchange or Active Directory, SQL, and the list goes on. We can throw multiple VMs and make sure we get the most efficient backups possible. So of course we give it those VMs as well as the target in which we'll be sending that data and the proxy in which we'll be using to transmit those backups to that target repository. But the key thing that we want to make sure that is in place is the guest processing. Checking this box will just simply make sure that we quiesce or pause that application and ensure we get those nice clean backups. And we can obviously check and go into applications and get some further settings. And in regards to Oracle, we can just choose that virtual machine, hit edit, and you'll notice a series of tabs up top. And Oracle being one of them, we want to specify an Oracle account that does have that sysdba privileges. And then from here, we have some options for our archive logs. We choose not to delete them. We can delete them when they get to a certain age or to a certain size. Now, of course, we also choose to back up those logs at a certain frequency, which is nice. This will expand our restore options or even get to a more specific point in time in the event that we need to roll back a database. So once we have these settings in place, just progress through the wizard and of course, give it its scheduling. Now in the first run of this job, naturally it'll capture a full backup, but pending the settings in play, we'll go ahead and just capture those changes in those sequential runs, really quick incremental backups. So naturally job runs, and it creates those backup files that we can start using for all sorts of types of recoveries. Now in previous videos, hopefully you've tuned into those, if I right click on a VM, well naturally it's going to populate the restore options that pertain to this workload. All right, so I can go in and recover the entire VM or just a single disk of that virtual machine, along with multiple other types of recoveries, which we of course talk about in other videos. But if we need to go into guest files or applications, you'll notice there's the Oracle. But another way that we can start or trigger these different types of restores is up with the ribbons up top. So if I come up top, application items, and here we have Oracle, this will just give us an extra way of drilling into that backup chain. Now, this window, of course, does look very similar to other types of restores. So if you've seen an Explorer in the past, fear not, right? This is the exact same process. And this is the first look. What we're seeing here is our backup chain. Now, the one up top is our most recent. We can use it as a way to mount and start browsing through that database and conducting many different types of recoveries. And we may want to give it a reason if need be, and then we'll go ahead and hit finish. Now, finish doesn't trigger a restore. It's really important. Finish just simply closes this wizard down, and it'll go ahead and launch that Veeam Explorer for Oracle. Once that database is mounted, doesn't take long, maybe a few seconds in this situation, we then see the virtual machines as well as the Oracle application and the database that resides within it. Now, highlighting that database will show me some brief information as well as the database files, but when I right click, you'll notice it gives me 4 restore options. Now, each one opens up to a couple of different ones, but these also mimic what we see at the top with these ribbons. This is important, just showcasing the similarities behind it and Veeam Backup and Replication. More than one way to get a task completed. So this publish option will let me publish. Now, publish is not necessarily restore per se. This is going to take a larger database and allow us to attach it to another server in the event that maybe we don't want to wait that period of time for the full-blown restore. Or maybe our DR strategy is a little bit limited and we need to leverage a publish function as opposed to a full-blown restore. Now, the restore database, of course, does do that genuine restore, whether it be to a new location or in the situation in which the original host is not available, we can restore that to another server of your choice. Now, one of the newish features, if you will, if you're leveraging RMAN for Oracle, we can also export these backups as a desktop item that you can leverage inside RMAN, leveraging those nice tools built into Oracle that may not be found inside the Veeam console. And we can also export those database pretty simple. We can send that to the desktop or a location of your choice. Now, each of these wizards, once you progress through, look very similar, but if you were to restore the database to another server, this wizard looks very simple and similar to others found in Veeam. Now, of course, we can use that restore point as the point in time to conduct that restore. But in the backup job, if we have the ability or we're using those logs and backing up those redo logs, we can leverage those as a point in time restore. So going well above and beyond just the scheduling of the backups, if I was able to highlight this, I could select this slider and drill down, potentially down to the minute. So real flexible options there as far as when and what we want to restore back into production. Now here it's going to ask us for those credentials, of course, giving the permissions and the account with the appropriate permissions. And finally, next we'll validate those settings in place and then give us a summary screen in which we can start that restore. So these explorers, again, are not just found in Oracle, but we have them for multiple applications as well as videos pertaining to those different types of feature sets and benefits found in Veeam. So be sure to check out veeam.com for more videos, and thanks for taking time out of your day to join us, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.